Welcome to season 3 of Game of Books.
Yes, we're back. We're still reading and drinking and writing and eating and talking, all despite the pandemic out here.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot that's changed, but we still have this.
Yeah, a lot hasn't.
And we were always remotely podcasting, so what's the difference now? Except, guess what? We can see each other.
Which has it's good and it's bad. I mean, I love seeing your face when we talk, but I didn't think this through. This whole like, oh, I actually have to.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, I put
Oh, my
on
hair.
earrings. I put on perfume. I don't know why.
Why
I
did
don't
you
know why I
put
put
on
on
perfume?
perfume. I don't know, but I felt like, okay, makeup, earrings, hair, throw in the perfume. I don't know.
It's like it's not smell-o-vision.
I know. Well, but we've been, so cloistered. I just felt like I was getting fancied up for something.
It is exciting for a big outing. It is great to see you, though. I mean, I really love talking this way. We've never done this before. We tried FaceTime a few times last season, but nothing like this. So this is great.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is great. Everybody's zooming now. And you know what? We're doing new things this season, and we're going to be able to talk to listeners through Zoom, and the authors we get to see on Zoom.
Yeah.
And we're going to be on YouTube. So, pressure's on and everything, but
We'll be in all the places.
we'll be in all the places, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be great because, like you said, we get to see our authors that we talk to in Quirk's Conversation, which is awesome. I mean, it's just adds so
and then
much
we have
to it.
we're starting a GOB club, which is like a virtual book club. So we'll have listeners. Some lucky listeners will get to join us on Zoom, and also the author of the books that we choose will be on there. And we'll talk about that in a little bit.
And don't forget, we're also adding another episode called Words in Progress for the writers out there like we are. That's how we got started in this, is that we're writers. And we're going to be doing a new cool spin-off, talking to other writers who teach writing as well as editors. I'm very excited about this.
I know. And I can't wait, but I think we need to pause at this moment and wish you a happy birthday, because you had a milestone a few weeks ago, and we definitely need to make a toast. And why don't you tell everybody what we're drinking, at least.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, so you start. Tell us what you're drinking, what you're slurping.
I am drinking it's called Rosé with fresh basil, and it's like frozen rosé. And we have a recipe on our basil collection, which you can get on our website. Yes. But anyway, what are you drinking?
Well, so I made another recipe from the collection, and I was going to make the frosé, and I thought, well, I should do, because this is a curated collection of our favorite basil recipes. And so I thought, well, I'll make another one. So I made, this is the strawberry basil infused water. Isn't that pretty?
Very nice. Yeah. Which actually looks really good. I wish I had that here too, just to balance.
Yeah. But then I thought, wait,
what
am I doing?
It's my birthday.
I'm out of practice. So I just put some rosé with some basil on the side.
That looks so pretty.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah. Yeah.
There is nothing like the smell of fresh basil. Freshly cut basil is one of my favorite smells.
Right. So anyway, I also would like to just quickly point out that our basil collection was your brainchild, because you grow basil so wonderfully. But here's my basil plant.
Oh, Christy.
Look, it's starting to come back. I don't know if you can see the little leaves. Yeah. So I'm going to try your tip from our basil collection and see if that works. But I went and bought a new one too.
Oh, it's so
and used
pretty.
it for my pesto that I'm having as well. I made some pesto. Yum. And so, yes. So we'll see how long that one lives.
I will tell you, I kind of have a small obsession with basil.
It smells so good, though. I mean,
I know,
want it
and
all
I
the
love
time.
it. And our growing season around here, this is not Florida. I'm in South Dakota. So you have to really cherish growing season. And so I always would start basil great. It would be going really well. And then it would just get all woody and stocky. And then I figured out the problem and I figured out the solution. And so that's in our basil collection. So you've got to get that.
And so we're going to see if it works. We'll keep an eye on it. But please do tell me a little bit what you did for your birthday. Did you get to celebrate a little bit? I know it's not the best time, but.
Yeah. Well, it turned out, obviously, as long as we're healthy, it's all good. So I turned 50. Christy just said it was a milestone. And
I wasn't going to say because I didn't know, but.
I'm pretty excited about 50.
You look a day over 39, so just
thanks.
Yeah.
So, and it happens to also be my anniversary. I got married on my birthday.
That was the craziest thing
I know. And so it's always a really special celebration. And I had decided last year that I wanted to be whitewater rafting on my 50th birthday. Mm-hmm. And so that didn't happen. We didn't travel. One of my daughters was very happy. She figured that was not a good plan anyway. She figured
it's so much fun. I love it.
I know. Anyway, next year we'll do that. So,
okay, definitely.
We were together as a family before my kids went to college, and that's it for me. I'm a homebody, so it was.
Well,
great.
Guess what? I have another birthday present for you. A little birthday surprise.
Okay. I'm kind of scared.
Well, don't be too scared.
Okay.
I mean, I think it'll be a good surprise.
I'm gonna have a drink.
Yeah, have a drink. Let's see if our sound editor can get it together. Hi, Hank.
Hank! Oh my God!
Yay, surprise.
I love your face. We should get a picture of your face. That is what I've ever heard. Things are at work that you don't know about. You never
too much of a control freak for this. Hank, I love seeing your face.
Oh my goodness. Happy birthday. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thanks. I'm doing very well.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what you're all doing and how you're celebrating. And
it's been really a great August. I got to celebrate with my family before I took my 2 daughters to college. So I'm now an empty nester at 50.
We'll see how long that lasts, but hopefully everything goes smoothly.
As long as I'm healthy.
Where are they going?
Both in South Dakota. One's at a private school, one's at the University of South Dakota. So they're close, which I'm very thankful for.
That is good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And we're enjoying a little Rosé, which is frozen rosé with basil.
Oh, yummy. I've got a Fro Pepsi.
All right.
Diet Pepsi, which is Pepsi with diet with Pepsi.
Yeah.
I love Rosés. Do you make them?
Yeah, and we have a recipe on our website because we have a basil collection out there. So, but it's just blending it with some ice and some simple syrup that has basil infusion.
Yummy.
So it is. It's the first time I've had it. So.
What?
I'm totally shocked. I thought Christy had just gotten a picture of you with the happy birthday sign, and I was like, "That's amazing!" And so
you can take it now.
But it's doubly great because. We were just mentioning right before you came on, Hank, that we are going to be doing these GOB Club virtual book club episodes, and the first book that we've chosen for our very first GOB Club is The First to Lie.
I've got right here.
Yay!
Yay! Mine's on Kindle. Sorry.
I see Trust Me back there. I totally
yes, I do. I have Murder List and Trust Me here. So,
I mean, you could do the first to lie first, and then you could do the second something something, and the third something something.
Yeah,
get in trouble eventually. I bet.
I know. I should think about that. We kind of already picked the second one though. But maybe we can play on words or something.
Tell me about the book club.
So we're going to have a contest sort of for our listeners to be in our Zoom for the book club. And so we'll have a little food and wine ideas. Here's my basil that I made today, but and go with the book. So we're gonna figure out what that is, and then we'll have a little discussion. We'll discuss the book, which I've already read it, and it is so good. And I have a friend that I just was talking to today, and I'm like, I'm so nervous and excited about this surprise for Cathi, but I said, because our first book is The First to Lie, and she said, I can't put it down. So she's reading it too. So maybe she'll be one of our contestants. You never know.
Because you don't.
And then you'll join us.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. That's going to be great. It's going to be
so fun.
I'd love to talk about the book with smart readers. There's several levels that you can read it on.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So I'm so honored. You all are so fabulous.
Hank, you just
thanks.
took my breath away.
Thanks so much for coming in for this surprise.
Okay,
we can't wait.
Hey, Hank, before you go, I just want to tell you, you are the inspiration in how we came together, first of all. We were sitting in your class at Sleuth Fest in 2018, and it was my first writing conference, and I told you even in the elevator afterwards, I had gone upstairs and called my husband, and I said, this is life-changing to be in this class. You had everything to offer that I needed to hear. And then Christy and I met, and we decided to start a blog, and it turned into this. So I just want to thank you so very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yes,
I didn't
thank you.
know that. I didn't know anything about it, or if I did know, I forgot. But so it's nice to hear it again. It's kind of interesting how the world works, isn't it? That when it's the right time for a thing, then that thing happens. And no matter what you try to do to make it happen before, it's laying the groundwork, it's cultivating, but it's making you be ready for the moment when the thing happens that's supposed to happen. And sort of have, just sort of believe in that process, like writing a book that's going to change and evolve, and suddenly you'll get the idea that's the thing, and that makes everything work. And so, it's interesting because yesterday was You Never Know Day, which is August the 18th. And August the 18th is the anniversary of the day before my husband and I met.
Oh.
And we celebrate that because you never know what wonderful person is around.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
So we celebrate today as the anniversary of the day we met 25 years ago.
Oh,
wow.
We celebrate yesterday as the day we still didn't know. The anniversary of the day we still didn't know that this thing was going to happen.
Oh, wow.
That's sort of reassuring.
Well, that's wonderful.
Lovely.
Congratulations too.
Yes. Happy anniversary to you.
And you just said, Cathi, you were 50?
Yeah, 50.
My jaw is dropping.
Very nice.
Yep, you look good, sister. I have to say.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yep.
Can't wait to see you on our book club, everybody, for the first time.
Hold up the book. I'll take a picture of you holding it up, Kat. Hold it up.
Hold it up.
Okay, smile. Okay, got it.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, John. Love you. Happy birthday. Christy, you're quite a magician.
Thanks. I love surprises, so thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Love you both.
Bye.
Thank you, Hank.
Thanks.
I don't even know what to say. I'm literally teary.
I'm glad it was a good surprise for you. I was like, oh, that was what was stressing me the worst, because I was like, I got to get all this together so that when she comes on, it works,
Thank you very much.
But now the pressure's off. We can just be as goofy as we want.
I am like teary and sweaty. I'm kind of sweaty now. I have to take their drink.
Yep, have a drink. And I'll talk while you're drinking.
Yeah,
and
please. I just need a minute to.
Yeah, that was so wonderful. She is just such an inspiration, and I can't wait for us to do that book club episode. I'm looking forward to that. And so I hope all you listeners out there, get her book, read it, and then, sign on for to try to get on our podcast.
So how do they do that, Christy?
Well, we're gonna have to put it on the it's on our webpage, and then it will be in social media, and all they have to do is just, put the name and email, I guess. And then we'll draw, we limit the number. And so we'll draw from the people that come that want to do it. And if they're able, we'll meet.
I'm so excited for that group to come together. Hank is an awesome writer. She just writes an incredibly suspenseful, like cat and mouse page turner.
Right.
But she also is just a glorious human. And they're just going to love it. So
yes. And so, and we'll do the whole 9 yards, man. We'll have food and wine ideas. So the listeners who are in their house can do the same if they want. And we'll get to pick Hank's brain, because she and the book is so good. So and we're also, and so we already know that our second book too.
Yeah, we do. I have it here.
It's David Alberton. Oh yeah, mine's in the other room. So I'm glad you brought it out. David Alberton, and it's called Undercard. And so that'll be our second one. So, really get both books.
Fun guy to talk to too.
Yeah. We met him at Thriller Fest.
We did.
So he was on a little brief, one of our brief interviews at Thriller Fest, and
very brief. Yeah. I hardly remember them because they were like
yeah. But anyway, so he's agreed and he's excited about doing the second one, and his book is really, really good too.
It is. Do you remember when we were at Thriller Fest? This is last summer, and as the book industry works, it works slowly, right? And he had just gotten that contract, and there was so much buzz about this, and I mean, I think he's just.
I can't remember exactly, but I mean, he might even already have some sort of like movie rights going or something. We'll have to talk to him.
There was something with that. So yeah,
it is very timely. It has a lot of current type information.
Yeah. So cool.
So, okay, and then we're going to have
we're at in the script. Like,
whatever. Well, I can tell you. I am so glad. I'm so glad. Oh I know. I was
I've ever been surprised like that in my life.
Really? Good.
I mean, I was like, is a gorilla gonna jump out of a cake? Like, what's gonna happen? I didn't think it'd be Hank Phillip Ryan. Okay, sorry. I'm regrouping.
Yes, great. Okay. So anyway, we also have we mentioned a little bit earlier, the Words in Progress episodes.
Oh yeah.
So why don't you tell a little bit about that? Because
so I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
We are writers, like we had mentioned earlier in the show, and that's really what brought us together, and love of reading and writers in general, and we want to increase our knowledge and our craft. And so we're going to invite other writers who teach writing, as well as editors. Maybe I have some in mind who have written books that I really rely on and I've learned a ton from. Ask them to come on and talk to us about some aspect of craft. And I think it's going to be great.
It is. It's going to be great. I mean, we'll be sort of learning. I think we'll try to do some exercises ourselves that we, maybe put it out there to the listeners, and they can send in some of their ideas, because why not? It's always good to practice.
So the first writer that's coming on to do Words in Progress actually happens to have a book out right now.
Oh yeah.
And her name is Nina Sadowski. And we talked to her last year when she had
a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's just a delight. And she really has an interesting aspect of craft to bring to us. She teaches writing, and she's a Hollywood script writer in her past before she moved to novels. And so she just really has a wealth of knowledge. For those of you who are a fan of Jennifer Lopez and Matthew McConaughey movies, The Wedding Planner, she was the executive producer on that. So she's got some really impressive credits to her name. In addition,
and I think I watched that, I don't know, once a month or something. I mean, it's on TV, and I'll be like, oh, I'll watch this while I'm cooking or something.
If it's on, it's just like I always keep it on for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's really exciting. It's all great.
Yes, it's all great. Everything's good. And now we can get to the meat of our episode.
Okay. So
don't worry, I don't have any more surprises because
I'm glad you're carrying this because I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Well, now we want to talk about, why don't we just talk about the books we've read over the quarantine, or it's like what can we call them? The lockdown reads, or the there's summer reads, but they're also during lockdown. So we're definitely we have a lot. So anyway, I picked 3. You picked 3 that you were going to tell me that you were, your favorites, and or what stood out, and we'll go with that. So go ahead and.
Okay, so you said 3, right?
Yes, I said 3. I mean, we could go on all day because I think I read way more than 3.
I turned down to talk.
Oh, wow.
I have quarantine has been a really increased reading time for me. It's been a real comfort.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? Are you reading more, do you think, or less?
No, I'm reading more. Or as much, because it seemed like even before the quarantine, I was reading a lot because me and my sleep habits. So
or lack thereof.
Yes. So I'll read a lot at night. And but definitely going through the books, but it's a different kind of read because now I'm not just mysteries, that's it for the podcast, got to do it,
Mm-hmm.
It's now, what's that book that I haven't read, or maybe this self-help book, or even a cookbook, So
okay, so I will tell you, I'm going to start off with what I'm going to start off with, because every summer this is one of the highlights of my summer.
Yes.
I have to get it's right here, my favorite author.
I know. Good thing I didn't get him. Actually, you wouldn't be able to talk at all either.
My favorite author is Hank Phillippe Ryan.
Right.
My second favorite.
Yeah. Right. There you go.
Is Daniel Silva, and he comes out with a new book every July, and I look forward to it every year. And every year, I told you I was going to try to make it last, right? Like I was going to, treat it like the exciting treat that it is. But then I pounded through it, but it is fantastic. It's called The Order. And you're reading it now, right?
Yes, I am. I'm reading it right now. And yes, it is good. It is. The way he writes, I like it. I just like it. It's pretty straightforward. It's not, I wouldn't say flowery or anything, but I think just the way he writes, it just gets me going straight, smooth through. I don't want to put it down usually.
Well, and I love his characters. I love the settings and his description of the settings. If you can't travel, you might as well just read a Daniel Silva novel, because this one largely takes place in the Vatican, and
but it's all over Italy and Venice. It was interesting.
And there's always food, and there's always wine in it.
I know. Awesome. My stomach was growling the other night. I was like, dang, I want to eat this.
And this one was great because it involved the Vatican archives, which is, I just love a library mystery thing. And he also really always does just phenomenal research. He's kind of known for predicting things to happen, but I saw him on a Zoom call, and like he said, he's like, I don't predict, I just do my research. He knows what's going on in the world. So it's really just I will stop pretty soon because I could go on forever.
I noticed in the beginning, he put a reference to a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if, right before this, I don't know yet because I haven't gone into the rest of the book if it comes back into play, but maybe it was just like, hey, here's a spot I can go back and throw this in, because then, right before it gets published, because we already know this is going on.
Yeah. I won't,
because it was so spot on.
It's so spot on. But he always, one of my favorite parts of his books actually is the author's note at the end of the book. It's not his acknowledgments. He does that separately. It's really just about his research and what's going on in the world and kind of his take on it a little bit. And this book involves, the kind of source of, like the original source of anti-Semitism. And
Oh, I know.
it's a
That's the
really
part I'm
heavy
getting
topic,
into right now. It's
but
like,
it's so
whoa.
timely. Yeah,
Yeah.
really interesting. So that's my first one. Do you want to do your first one?
Okay. I'm just going to go in random order, but since you were talking about Daniel Silva, which I'm reading on my Kindle, I chose 3 books from 3 different medias.
Nice.
Yes,
Nice.
because that's just the way I roll. And so this first one that was on my Kindle was Where the Crawdads Sing
Oh,
by Delia Owens.
I still
So
haven't read it.
well, it lives up to the hype. It
Is it?
really does. It's good. And I'm from the South, so I could really tell you that, I mean, the picture she painted with her words was just so vivid and real that, you just want to read it because of that, and then there's the mystery that goes with it, because it is considered a mystery thriller, believe it or not.
Is it really?
And yeah,
I didn't know that.
yes. So but it's more of a smooth flowing mystery thriller, if that could be anything. I don't know, but anyway, that was good. And so that was what I read on my Kindle. Okay.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Daniel for 1 second. I will tell you, I got a signed copy, which really was pretty great. And I ordered it from Parnassus Books. And I've been trying to order, speaking of different alternatives, I'm trying to order a lot more books from indie booksellers.
Yes.
And we're going to highlight them in our social media whenever we can.
Yeah.
So I think really important right now to highlight small booksellers. So that was from Parnassus. My second one is not a mystery thriller. It is 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand.
Ooh, nice.
And
I'm not sure if I read that, because I've read a lot of hers, or I listened to them,
This one just came out in August or July.
So probably not, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And it is very good. It is based on a really interesting presumption, and I just found it compelling, and I really had a hard time putting it down. I mean, true page turner. And it literally travels through this couple who get together over Labor Day weekend every year for 28 summers, obviously.
Wow.
And it's compelling, and the end. I mean, unfortunately, she tells you in the beginning that one of the couple is dying or has died. And so but despite that, knowing that, it's just a super compelling read. So
great.
It was a nice escape.
Good. I do like her. I do like her a lot. Okay, so so that segues perfectly into my one of my other ones, because I often listen to, is it Ellen or Elin? I'm not sure. Hildebrand.
Mm-hmm.
Her books while I'm traveling in audio, because I just, keeps me going. I can drive the 10 to 12 hours it takes to get to North Carolina or wherever I'm going. So, but on one of my trips back down from North Carolina, I guess bringing my daughter back, I did an audio book, and it was,
You're so good.
I know. Hey, I'm trying. It was The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. And I had wanted to read it for a while, and so it just, with the podcast, I hadn't had time and stuff. So I found it on audio, and it was so good. In fact, I looked up the narrator. Her name is Bonnie Turpin, but it's spelled Bahni, so I might be butchering her name. I'm not sure. She was so good. She's an actress, and she's been on a lot of shows, and she's like a little bit older than us, but this is a YA book, which is why I wanted to read it too.
Yeah,
because I love my YA books, and I just love how they have that whole perspective from a young adult on this whole systemic racism. It was just, and it was so real, so good. And I think the narrator, because I was listening on audio, was awesome.
Wow.
I mean, every character, I was just really, really impressed. And so I had to look her up, and I did look her up, Cathi, and I have to tell you, she's also a yoga instructor.
Oh, Oh.
But anyway, that's
I'm
really
sure I
a
would
book.
love her then.
And I think The Hate U Give is such a good book. And I wanted to read it before I watched the movie, which the movie was good as well. But I have to read before, the movie. And so I think that this is a book, even though it's YA, that everybody could read and really, really get something out of it. So,
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so my third is Little Secrets by what?
I was just looking on the computer. I was like, I'm going to get this. I want to read this. How is it?
It's good. Look, you can see my spine. I have it marked and noted. I mean,
oh my gosh. Let's try to get her for a Corks and Conversation.
I would love to talk to her about this book.
She seems so fun on social media when I see
her. I think so too. So the premise is really interesting. It's terrible. Obviously, a little boy gets abducted, and it's been his parents are appropriately falling apart, and it's been a year later, and the FBI investigation's gone nowhere. And that's where the book picks up, and it is really good. Like, there's just really slight nuances that make you just stick with it. Like, this woman has hired a private investigator but didn't tell her husband. That would be unusual, right? I mean, it's just really, really, really interesting. And I flew through it. I think I read it in 2 days. I mean, I just flew through it.
Okay.
Yeah, really good.
All right. So that's on my list.
It should
After
be.
I finish Daniel Silva, right? Oh gosh. I don't know if you could hear that, everybody out there in Zoom world, but we're having a big thunderstorm here in Florida. In fact, I was a little afraid. We had a water spout today, and which is a tornado over the water.
Oh,
and it.
Oh,
yes.
I thought you meant like a gardening water spout.
No. And it came onto land just a little bit. So they were showing on the news just before this, like palm trees down, just in a little part, because it's not as strong as a tornado. So usually as soon as it gets to land, it, dissipates. But the pictures, when you'll probably see them later, they'll be on national news, because it was so cool to see, because we're so flat, and it was probably some tall building looking out going, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was cool.
That's gonna be the fun part of Zoom. I have a daughter still home for a couple days, and she's babysitting my dog. But after this, it's just me and the dog.
Yeah.
So
that'll be fun.
We might have some May visits. We'll see. Okay. Give me your third.
Third book. My third book, right?
Yep.
So now we're going hardcover.
Oh.
Becoming by Michelle Obama. So I got that for Christmas, I think, because I
think you did too. I think you told me that.
Yeah. We really hinted, remember, on that podcast? I'm not, but I don't think I actually got it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I got a gift card and I went and got it, but I can't remember. I might have gotten it. It's really hard to remember that far back,
it's like a different
pre-pandemic and everything. But I didn't get a chance to read it until this summer after we were done with the podcasting, and it's so good. Again, I mean, who can't love Michelle Obama? I don't understand. She's amazing. I'd love to hang out with her. I mean,
she's on the podcast.
I know she's got honesty. She just started a podcast.
I know.
Maybe
yeah.
But she's just, and her drive that she talks about in the book. And then, she's down to earth. She talks about her, and this is where I think we're simpatico here. She talks about the garden in the White House and how she had to learn how to do a good garden. So, I'm learning myself.
So
but anyway,
I got my new indoor basil plant I brought in here with me. So, I grow it outside, but in the fall and the winter, I bring it inside. I bring a new one inside. And with my new watering system, I can grow it all winter.
I know. I am so excited. And I try, I put it in, and I'm like, I don't want to give too much away, because I'm like, you guys go sign up for that basil collection on our website. But I tried it, and it was like shh, shh. I was like, Cameron, I just put the water in, I'm talking to my daughter. I just put the water in like, an hour ago and it's gone. So
it's a strange thing.
So obviously this is going to be probably a mind-blowing experience, but I don't know. But anyway, so there's my 3 books. And, I would just like to, I guess, thank everybody for listening to our new season, our season 3, and next week, we're next week already, Corks and Conversation.
Yay.
We're jumping right in with Joseph Reed.
Yes.
And his books are the Seth Walker series and his latest book, which...
Let's see, do I have it? Mine's on my shelf behind me. Oh, good.
I got it here.
Good.
See, I remembered at least one prop. Departure by Joseph Reed. It'll be interesting to talk to. His like first book or second in that series was featured on Seth Meyers.
Really?
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting thing to talk.
Cool.
Yeah, to talk to him about, Yeah. It was on one of their skits and stuff. So anyway, so he's going to be next week.
That's going to be so fun.
Yes.
I'm very excited. And if you want the Rosé recipe that Christy made and the infused water recipe I made,
and the
basil
pesto,
excuse me, along with a bunch of other really great basil recipes, go to our website, right, Christy? And they can get it there.
Yep.
Awesome.
And we'll probably be, it'll be on social media too, but yes, there will be a link right on our website. And it's so good. It smells so good. I'd be eating it right now, except I was a little afraid the green would get my teeth.
And the crunch if you're going to eat.
Yeah. So.
And we're looking forward to inviting you to our first Game of Books Club episode with Hank, who was on today.
Yes, I know. And again, you will have a chance to enter that contest on gameofbookspodcast.com and also social media, which we're moving out there, aren't we, Cathi? You got it down, baby.
This year we made a lot of changes. We're really trying to reach out to our listeners on social media. So we're on Instagram and on Facebook and Twitter and
YouTube.
What'd you say?
YouTube.
And now YouTube today. I'm all sweaty, but okay, that's great. And,
no, you look wonderful, darling.
I'm so appreciative of that surprise. I can't tell you. Sorry, back to what we're supposed to talk about. Okay, so that's it. That's all for Game of Books today.
Yeah, that's all.
3. Yeah.
Yep. So thanks for listening to today's episode. And, every Friday morning we share food, wine, and mystery just in time for the weekend.
Yes.
And this is Christy. Now you see me.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.